Zizaran, and I am joined here today by the wonderful Carn, Nugiyen, and Mathill to do the wrap-up of the second Exilecon 2023, and what a con it has been. We got a lot of bombshells, a lot of crazy stuff. Carn, first reactions, how do you feel?
I feel amazing, man. It's been a very amazing experience, meeting all these people, meeting the devs, talking to them, trying the game, just hanging out.
Nugi?
I mean, the same thing. I was here last time, and then again, like 4 years later, we're back, and the people are just as nice, just as friendly. So it's been just a treat, just experience everything and learning all the new things about PoE2.
And Mathill, what about you?
Yeah, it's been terrific. Like, it's, as you just said earlier, it's nice to come back, and it feels pretty good, feels right, as you said. It's just good to see the passion. Convention like this is kind of rare, where it's just for one game specifically, and everyone has that same thing in common. Many others, for lots of little different things. So you can talk to anyone about the entire scope of everything we saw, and you can feel the passion.
Yeah, and that is quite rare because most conventions don't have that, as you said, so it's really wonderful, and we are getting ready for the final race of Exilecon, which will be right after this event wrap-up, so very excited for that. And the race is in PoE 1, so it'll be very, very familiar. It is a Kitava race, and obviously we've been dropped the bombshell that we were getting PoE 1 and 2. Mathill, was that something you were expecting, like an actual split of the game?
I mean, no, because I take it for what it is. They said, it's going to be, and for the past years, I've been telling people that come in about PoE2, can't wait for that whole new game. I'm like, listen, guys, it's not a whole new game. It's a side thing, and it's still going to be like lots of overlap with the same game. It's still going to be great. You're just going to have a better campaign leveling experience, and it'll be terrific. So, no, I didn't expect that, but I think it has potential to be absolutely brilliant. It has potential to burn us out a bit. If we're playing too much PoE. But yeah, look, I'm looking forward to actually getting to test the full PoE2 and see how the cyclical changes go.
Absolutely, like Nugi, this is going to be like so much more content to cover. I'm guessing you're going to be trying both and see how it goes, but how is this going to change things for you in content creation?
How is it going to change my content creation? Ooh, I think as a creator myself, I'm just really looking forward to PoE changing in the direction where they're getting the full focus on kind of the direction they want to go in, because there was definitely a concern, I think, with the development of the game, like both together, like how do they split those two focuses? We saw like Ruthless, which was kind of a divergence of what a lot of people expected, and it's the same thing with PoE2. There's a lot of passion there that they want to instill into the new game, but how do you do that in both? And so I think the split is a very good choice, but definitely unexpected.
Absolutely. And Carn, you've been racing a lot. Are we going to see you racing in both PoE 2 or PoE 1, or are you going to stick to racing in one of them?
No, of course, there's a race. I mean, I'm going to be racing both. I don't know how that's going to work for how we're going to do scheduling, because even now it's kind of hard with the league starts and the gauntlets. And it's like practice in between, so I already have very little time to get everything done and get some rest. But I don't know, we'll see. There's a race, I'm in.
Absolutely, and we see today Carn is representing the Duelist, even having the Duelist pin. What was it like not having Bone Shatter? You tried out the Warrior, I believe?
Yeah, I did try Warrior. I mean, that's Thunder. And Thunder was actually pretty good in there, so yeah, I was happy, I was fine.
So as long as you have some form of melee, it's really good. So what was your first experience? Like, how much did you get to play test PoE2 so far?
Played a couple times. I did a couple different bosses and killed some monsters. It felt like the impact was like, you could feel the impact, especially like on skills like Thunder, we know what Thunder is, right? So it's like the sound, like everything, like how everything felt. The different skills you had to use to combo them, etc. It feels pretty good because it felt very similar to slams. It was pretty much slams, yes, with just different abilities instead of war cries. It was a.
Is there any very big surprises for you?
Surprises. I would say that maybe. I don't think so. Actually, it felt very, very, very familiar. Honestly, because it was Thunder. With Thunder, it's like you had also the supercharged slam, which I also tried. and I had I had these problems. But the stun thing actually, the whole change to stun thresholds and how you can stack, well, not stack, but like stun bosses, like build up the stun on them, or you can guarantee even stuns, especially on melee. Like that was something that was relatively easy to do and could help like set up like stuff like super
Absolutely. So I tried both Act 4, Act 3, and Act 2, and I got absolutely destroyed in Act 3. I was just getting chain stunned, and then I tried Act 2 this morning. It was such a different experience. That felt like really like they nailed that, and I had such a great experience with the Huntress, and it felt a lot more like the PoE 1 I remember, where I was actually like crushing the monsters again, and very, very cool monsters, offering a mix of like mobility and moving things. So yeah, that was very fun. The biggest difference for me, and I don't know if it's the same for you guys, was like the wind up of attacks, like being like less instant. Same with like Sunder and the Warrior, because I tried that too. Nugi, what about you? Tell us a little bit about your first experience and what you've tried so far.
Well, I tried all of them so far. Not so much the Sorceress, I think it was called, because the game unfortunately had a little bit of bugs. So, but I'll stick to the other three classes. So, Monk was really, really fun. There's a lot of distance measuring with getting in and out of combat, and I think they are going in a really, really fun direction in terms of dynamic combat in that. The charge system seems way more intuitive now compared to what it did in PoE 1, where it's all about, well, you constantly have to kill something within 10 seconds, and then you go to a boss and there's nothing to kill. And so I think it's a much more dynamic style around those, so that was really nice. The dodge is something that's new, where you're not really using it as a movement skill. It's more like a utility skill for evading certain attacks, and I think it felt really good on the Warrior specifically.
Yeah.
Because you are kind of slow, and so you need to really get around to get a good position so you can land those big hits. So I think that worked really well. But
especially
still a lot
with
of
the leap slam.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you try the Sorceress as well and the Huntress?
Huntress, I did try, yes. A lot of pokey combat, like more like mid-range pokey. You create fields of slows. You make them walk over, and you can create like blinding fields as well. So a lot of area denial, and just again pokey in and out of combat.
I don't know if you had a similar experience to me, but obviously a lot of people have been worried about having to use so many different abilities. But the Huntress felt a little bit more like PoE 1 there, where I used what was the lightning strike called? The one where you throw the javelin.
Lightning spear or something.
Lightning spear. I used that for clearing, and then I used like the spear attack for single target. So that's like a reassuring thing for those that are worried that you're going to have to cycle between like 8 abilities now.
I think that they understand that they give you the option of going anywhere you want in terms of skill customization. You can have 9 different skills and they can all power each other up, or you can have you have a couple utilities. You'll have buffs and those kind of things, and they'll have they were talking about an on-dodge roll at the QA earlier. So they want you to have a similar experience with crazy creative combat, cast on, cast, and all those things. They're still going to be there, and as like speedy combat, and we were going to get all the creativeness and silliness that we had in PoE 1, but without it going, all the way to the moon.
Absolutely, and we saw like in some of the later acts even, which we don't even get to see a PoE 2 endgame yet, and we still see pretty good density like in some of the like Act 4 especially. It was just I was getting crowded by mobs. Mathill, what did you get to try so far when you were doing the demos?
Yeah, so I did the live stream demo, I think, pretty soon after you. I was told that you had a rough time, you died a bunch, and I was just like, step aside, noob. I'm gonna get in there, show them how it's done. I got brutalized. Like it was, I did Act 4 because it was leading on from you. Tried the Warrior, and I think I died on the first pack. Like it was pretty unexpected. Well, my first pack was like hasted aura with a few other dudes, and they had extra damage, and I just got chain stunned dead, and then went, that's gonna be a tough one to follow then. So then, I kind of adjusted my combat, my play style, and I think that's exactly what they want you to do. It's supposed to be a very different experience to PoE 1. at least early on, where you have to start using your combat rolls and planning your attacks better. It was still very difficult, very tough. I can see what they're going for, and at the same time, I think they also set us up to fail with some pretty like low-tier gear and all that. Like I'd say my character was a level 45 to begin with, and it's probably like 30% of what a level 45 would be gear-wise and passive-wise and all that. So it was supposed to be pretty tough, and we weren't supposed to get too far with it. But I have full faith that it's going to feel pretty similar to PoE 1 in the end, where you gear a character up and you're just going to, comfortably smash through, but it's going to be a bit different on the playstyle. And I also tried Sorceress as well, which is what you had, like, pretty tough time with,
Did
right?
you die too?
A few times, yeah. I mean, I stopped caring because I wasn't doing it on stream, so...
Oh, okay.
So off stream, yeah, I just gave it a shot, and I'm like, I don't mind if I die too much. And I could see how it would have been painful to start with on stream and all that. But pick a good skill, like start using the arc and all that.
Yeah.
And use your freezes and your dodges
I was trying to use
appropriately.
Comet a lot.
Yeah.
It was rough.
Yeah, exactly. You want to see the Comet, you're like, yeah, let's go, it's going to be cool. But you're like, this wind up and everything's just so many mobs, and it was...
Yeah, it was particularly, I don't know if you had the same experience, but it was very confusing to me that, like, even though it was, like, close, I was throwing close to me, sometimes it would move back and sometimes it wouldn't. I couldn't always figure out exactly what the reason was, because it would do it on a mix of ranges. And I was like, I want you to move me back when I'm throwing my Comet. But yeah, and they did also say that the demo that we've been playing is quite overtuned as well. Like, they haven't been able to adjust the difficulty. So it will be a better experience. Obviously, a lot of people have been saying they're worried that this is going to be a lot slower, and that probably won't be the case when they actually get everything right.
I think part of this was just to really settle you into a different play style of like having to think more about your combat and really try and do the rolling as well, because that's a big new mechanic for us, and it's super helpful to like get out of there and plan your attacks more methodically after.
Absolutely. And one thing that really stood out to me was like the visuals. Like, everything is just like miles beyond anything we've seen before. Like the things opening, like things coming out of walls, gates opening, everything. Like, how much of the Mathill, you love cosmetics and stuff in games, and you spend a lot of time on that. So this must be a big thing for you, right?
Yeah, for sure. Like, so there was still some remnants of old skills, and we've already seen some pretty good updates in current PoE 1 from PoE 2 skills, but some of them were, just stunning to see, like, as a bit of a revamp for an old skill, and just looked a lot crispier. But it's more the environment than anything. Like, I was going through some prison area, there's all this really cool water flowing through, and monsters bursting through walls and stuff, and it's going to be just exactly what I'm looking for, some stunning visuals.
Absolutely. Nugi, what about you? Visuals, you're pretty big on that.
Oh, no, I love the visuals. The first talk we had earlier, just at the keynote, right after, I was so sad that I didn't get to mention all the like absolutely amazing and stunning visuals. So there was when I saw the water waves crash onto the rocks, I was taken aback just a bit. And earlier I was here with Neon playing, and during the gameplay we walk into a cave, like a volcano, like a volcano, I think. And I go in, and there's these dips within the terrain where there's lava flowing, and I could literally feel the heat. I just stood there just for 5 seconds. Whoa. Okay, that's amazing. So
Carn, what about you? How does the graphics impact you?
I mean, I was very surprised because I know that I was heard that it was like a very big step up from what we had in PoE 1, and compared to like other games we now might have played recently, and the difference was like actually like I did not expect that, honestly. I was actually like pretty shocked.
I actually wanted to mention was a big part of that as well, that you could very much feel an impact, and hopefully you guys felt the same way, was when they did the reveal and the announcement, going through the years of old trailers and seeing exactly how far we'd come, and it was honestly a bit of a tearjerker. You're just like, holy, like we are going places, and then it stops at 2019, like for Exilecon, which already seems so far away. Like it was so far in the past, and we'd come so much further. Like going from PoE 2 now to what it originally started with is nothing short of mind-blowing.
Absolutely. I had the same experience. I was sitting there and I was tearing up a little bit. I was like, man, what a journey.
Yeah.
And with everything in mind, Carn, what are you looking forward to the most with PoE 2?
Looking forward to the most in PoE 2. I mean, obviously it's gonna have to do with like how it's gonna apply to racing, for example. Like I'm really curious to see how it's gonna end up shaping up. Because like we really have no idea like how long the acts will take. We don't know how fast we'll be able to go. We don't know, like there's so many things that we don't really know, and like there's a question up there and it's out there, and I have no idea what to expect. So that's what I'm actually looking forward to, figuring out the game like in that way.
Awesome. Nugi, what about you?
I mean, figuring it all out. I think figuring out like all the new skills, all the new variations, new uniques, new bosses, new monsters, how all the intricate mechanics will work together, how can we solve the passive tree. Yeah, just a brave new world, honestly.
Yeah, make new deal.
Mathill?
Yeah, I think I talked a bit about it on the previous thing. It was more about the classes than anything, and especially the ascendancies, because those are the real game changers. Those are the ones that really give your characters like flavor, identity, power. And I mean, I want to see exactly what they come up with all that. Because it's got to be huge, right? It's got to be
Absolutely.
Yeah.
real customizable for each individual class as well. Especially, I mean, I guess to be specific, I want to throw some javelins, and I want to get some lightning fury from D2, pure javelin action. I think that's going to feel amazing with PoE density, with PoE mechanics.
Yeah, I mean, you're known for making builds, and now, are you a little bit worried about how intricate build guides and builds are going to be? Like, we get changing skill systems and so many things to remind people of. Use this skill with your offhand, etc. Is that a little bit daunting?
To some extent, but I kind of just stay in my own little wheelhouse these days and just do my little stream, and I try and do a build and then just put forth some level of info that's, if someone that knows what they're doing can follow it along, and then just leave it up to people like you that want to actually carry someone all the way through and give them all that basic info, because it's just too much. I gave up, and there's enough people that are willing to try and take the mantle of that helpful sort of person that I'm just going to do my own thing and hopefully have as much fun as possible.
So out of all the new things we've seen, like shape-shifting, etc., is there anything you're already eyeing up as something you'd love to really get your hands on that's very different from PoE 1?
I don't think I look that far in advance for the future. I mean, definitely just all the new weapon systems, so javelins are being one of them.
Yeah.
We saw a teaser during one of the slides, flails,
I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen that? That was during that was during one of the talks. So it was live streamed. It's good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll watch it later. I had a thing.
Yeah. So just the new weapon. There's only I think those, maybe one other. But yeah, weapon types that are going to customize new skills, new abilities, new gameplay.
I think for me personally, what I really want to do, Druid. I've always wanted shape-shifting. Just sounds so fun. And I really hope, what I really hope PoE 2 brings is some form of a animal summoner. That's something I always felt missed a little bit in Path of Exile. It's always been undead minions, etc. I really hope we get to see some wolves, eagles, stuff like that.
I mean, surely with the name of the new aura or the new resource we get, Spirit.
Spirit, yeah.
It lines up perfectly with the Druid, no?
Yeah, but Spirit isn't Druid specific, right? It's for everyone.
No. Yeah. But they are talking about it. It is also for summoners and minions.
Yeah, and I really like the Spirit idea. That's something it sounds so nice to have something specific for managing your mana that you don't have to compromise. I think that's a really cool idea. Maybe we'll see more Archmage in PoE 2 as well.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah, for sure.
Nugi, what about you? How does this what build do you want to do?
What build do I want to do?
What build? You have to pick one.
I just want to build defense.
You just want to build defense. That's important.
I think you've got to build defense, right?
Yeah, no, I think so.
That's the thing.
Oh, yeah. No, definitely.
At this place for sure. You can't be this,
Well, I'm sure you will be dodge rolling around everything and ignoring defense as much as possible.
Yeah, man. 4K live dodge rolling. That's all it takes.
4K Mathill build. I remember back in the day it was a 3K Mathill build.
It's always been the bare minimum. That's if it lands at 4K, then so be albeit that's just a random metric, but it's always the bare minimum to get by. And it started to raise over the years, and then it came back down as we got better defensives and better ways of dealing with damage. So then it came back down to 4K Life meme builds again.
Karn, Lord of the Bone Zone, should we even ask? What are you looking forward to play in PoE2? Are you just hoping there's a Bone Zone?
This is really tough, man. I don't know. I'm thinking about playing Sword. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to play Slams. Of course, I'm going to be slamming because they're back. But, I tried Sunday. Sunday was actually really good, at least in the demo. So I'm really looking forward to, especially with what the weapon system is going to imply, to be able to be swapping weapons, having different setup for single target and for clear, which is one of the things that are kind of a problem sometimes if you want to play a meta character. A skill can be very, very good at clearing and very bad at single target. So that's going to fix that problem. It's going to give a lot more variety to what meta abilities we can use. So I'm looking forward to that a lot.
Awesome. And as a final topic, we have the race starting in around 4 minutes. We have Ty23HE, I'm Exile, Killer, and Havoc616 all competing for a lot of money. Really cool prizes that we're. It's going to be interesting. So we'll start off with Mathill. Who do you think will win, and who would you like to win?
I'm not super invested in the races. They're great right here in Exilecon, actually being here with everyone, crowd reaction, all that. It's actually quite a vibe. But look, I probably want Havoc to win. I don't know who will though, because they're all really good at this point. From my understanding, they're all kind of on a level playing field, and it's just whoever has the better day or the better run of the time. But I know what it takes, and I know that Havoc's been grinding, so I would like to see him win.
Awesome. Yeah, he's been working really hard. I've barely gotten to see him. He's just been practicing away. Nugi, what about you? Same question.
I hope it's going to be a tie.
One of the two?
Are you saying, Are you hoping there's a tie between people, or are you hoping one of the ties wins?
No, I hope it's going to be
a tie between the ties?
So they've been practicing. Yeah, that would be great, right?
A tie.
Yeah, tie.
Okay.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Okay, what about you, Carn? You were practicing a lot, trying to get one of these as well, so you know a lot of what it takes to be here.
Yeah.
Who do you hope wins?
It's too hard. I have ties to everybody, but Ty in this race, Exile, Ty and Havoc all good friends, and I want either would win. Either winning is would be good for me. I would be happy for either of them. So I can't really pick one. I would say I would say Ty. Let's say Ty.
Yeah, it's a tough one, obviously with knowing everybody, etc. But I would say I hope Killer wins, especially because he came last time after getting Tabula, and he's even been using the name Tabulast as his name. So I think it would be Killer or Havoc, and then I think I'm Exile maybe has an edge.
Is that your prediction, or what's your hope?
I think I'm Exile is going to win, but he's been winning too much. That's why I hope Tabulast will win.
I think Exile is definitely the favorite for this.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there's one thing though, is he's never played on stage before.
Oh.
So it's gonna be
Yep.
There's many ways it can go. This can either empower him and he just pulls out a personal best, right now world record, or he just crumbles and performs. This is an extremely big factor that people forget. And Tai, for example, Havoc and Tai they've competed on stage here, so they're ready for that. Sure. Tai is especially I've talked to him and he's done some extremely focused preparation for that, practicing with the correct lights, everything. So we'll have to see how Exile fares with the pressure.
Awesome. Well, we're getting towards the end here, so I hope everybody's been enjoying watching at home. I hope you will all enjoy watching the race and cheering for your favorite racer, and it will be casted by RiceQT and Ziggy D. So thank you all for having us. I hope you guys have enjoyed this wrap-up of Exilecon. Thank you for being here in person and on Twitch. So thank you for watching. Try to die less than I do.